Hello everybody, welcome back to VincentVision. Tonight I am here at Universal Orlando Resort and I am going to be taking you guys along with me as I experience the Orlando Informer Meetup. This is a special event that happens here quite frequently at Universal. It's an after-hours event which promises minimal waits, low crowds, unlimited food, and special entertainment. I'll be sharing my thoughts and experiences tonight, and hopefully this video helps you answer the question as to whether or not paying extra for an event like this is worth it for you and your family. So welcome to the latest episode of VincentVision. Wachow! Hey everybody, welcome back to VincentVision, coming to you from a suddenly very cold and chilly night here at Universal Orlando. It wasn't like this morning. I am here talking to you guys in one of the little alleyways here in the San Francisco area of the park. I got myself a cup of coffee to help keep myself warm tonight as I sit by the docks here at Universal's San Francisco area. I love the park at night. It is so beautiful, and I should probably talk about why I'm here tonight. I am here for the Orlando Informer Meetup. This is a very popular after-hours event that is done here at Universal, and I thought it'd be nice if I came here and experienced it, because it's been a while for me. I think the last time I went to one of these was a little over 2 years ago. I used to get hosted as a theme park content creator. I don't anymore, so I'm here on my own dime. With that being said, I'm hoping that when you watch this video, understand that I am making it from the perspective of someone who paid to come to the event. So in this video, I'm going to try to break it down by the big selling points of the Orlando Informer Meetup. How much food are you able to get during an event like this? How long are you actually waiting for the most popular rides here at Universal? Is it busy in the park? Do you have fun? Well, you'll probably have fun. I mean, it's Universal, right? So hopefully my experiences tonight answer those questions for you. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's talk about the check-in process. So for this February meetup, the actual Orlando Informer event runs from 8 p.m. to 1:30. With your Orlando Informer ticket, you are able to enter the park early at 3 p.m. I got here at about 5 o'clock. I came in through their side entrance by the Globe. I checked in with my QR code. The check-in process was fairly easy. There's going to be a lot of people, but don't worry about it. They got us through in about 10 minutes, give or take. And once I got my stuff, I headed into Universal. Now, a big selling point for this event is the free food. And I just want to get this out of the way right now. Yes, there is free food, but it is not until an hour after the event kicks in at 9 o'clock. To hold you over until that time comes, they do give you a $15 food and beverage gift card, which is a really nice thought, but I was like really hungry and I spent $13 out of that $15 on some really sad chicken tenders at Mel's Drive-In. So maybe like save it for snacks or something until the event kicks in. Upon checking in, I was given a park map, I was given a little sleeve with my gift card, and on the back of the sleeve is a number for Orlando Informer's help desk, their support system. You can text them throughout the night. It is nice that they have something like that for people. So until the meetup officially kicks off at 8 o'clock, I think I'm just going to kind of casually stroll through Universal Studios, do some rides with lower weights, and save the meetup hours for the big rides. And hey, it's me, Vincent, coming to you a day later from the Orlando Informer Meetup event here at my lovely home. I wanted to wrap up at the event. I was exhausted though. It was 1:30 at night and it had gotten very, very cold. So I decided I didn't want to like stand out there in the cold and try to articulate my thoughts about the night. So I went home, slept, and now I'm here. So let's continue on with the video. Let's talk about the ride experience at the Orlando Informer Meetup event. So for the night, I told myself that I wanted to, at the very least, try to get on all of my favorite rides, sort of the favorite things I like to do at Universal. And I'm happy to say that with the one night that I was there, I was able to do all the things I wanted to do and then some. With the exception of a few rides, I didn't wait at all for anything that I wanted to do. I started getting on the rides at 8:30 and I was able to do the Escape from Gringotts, jump on the train, go on Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, ride the Velocicoaster, do the Raptor Encounter, jump on Spider-Man, walk back to the other side, hit up Revenge of the Mummy. These were the things that I was most interested in doing during the event, and I got to experience them at a leisurely pace. I could have done more, like I really could have done every single ride if I wanted to, and I got into the park at 5 o'clock. I could imagine if you came in at 3 o'clock when your ticket allows you to, and started from there and like did the small rides and eventually saved like the big stuff for the event hours, you could have probably knocked out both parks in their entirety. Like seriously. Even the carousel. Last time I did the event, I was not able to ride Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. The ride actually closes earlier than the event ends, depending on how long the line is. Now, every ride during the event has the potential of closing their queue early, depending on how long the line is, but there are certain rides that should take a little higher priority during the night. The Incredible Hulk, Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, Velocicoaster, and the Escape from Gringotts all have the potential of closing their queues earlier than most so that they can clear the line out by 12 o'clock at night. That is super, super important. Those are rides you should definitely try to prioritize while you're at the event. I think for most of those, you shouldn't have a problem. The longest line you're gonna run into all day for rides is gonna be Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. I was in a unique situation where I was just there by myself, so I actually got to use the Hagrid Single Riders line. I asked one of the team members if the Single Riders line was available, and with that, I was able to save a lot of time. A lot of time means 30 minutes during the Orlando Informer Meetup. You're not gonna be really waiting much for anything, but I still think time is very precious during an event like this. I started over at Universal Studios, and I think that helped me out because I think people wanna start over on the other side so they can get onto Hagrid's, do the Velocicoaster. When I got to that side and I did the Velocicoaster and all the rides over there, the park was like truly, truly empty. Something I think is really nice as well for this event is that they also have entertainment out in the park. So there are actually shows like the Frog Choir, Celestina Warbeck. There's also characters out in the streets. I got to meet Spider-Man at the Spider-Man store, and I got to do the Raptor encounter, which is one of my favorite things to do at Universal. Seriously, one of the coolest things you can do at the park. There was nobody in line. You could just walk right in, and that is not the case during the day. I met some Jurassic Park dinosaur handlers that were super funny. I took a really funny picture with them. And Orlando Informer now has their own mascot. I think his name is Churro. He's like a bird he meets in the New York area of the park. Every time I look at him, I just think of like the Twitter bird. My ride experience was pretty successful. I was very happy with everything that I was able to do. I knew I could have done more, but I did all the things I wanted to do, which was really, really great. And of course, how can I talk about the Orlando Informer event if I don't talk about the food? My food experience started off a little rough, I must admit. I was leaving Diagon Alley at about 9 o'clock when the food was getting ready to start for the event, and I said, oh, look, the Leaky Cauldron, I might as well get in line. It's about to open up in just a minute. And I ended up waiting in line for about 20 minutes waiting for the Leaky Cauldron. It was a really long line. It actually bled out of Diagon Alley. I don't think the restaurant had fish and chips ready, so because of that, they didn't let anybody in. The Orlando Informer people aren't at fault for that particular situation, so I decided to take the L and move on. I jumped onto the train, went over to the other park, and was gonna try to get some shepherd's pie at the Three Broomsticks, but that had a very, very long line as well. So I realized that I was gonna have to get creative and maybe not eat in the Harry Potter areas of the park because they're very popular. So instead, I chose to go eat at other places in the park. And I think once I did that, I had a much better experience with food. I got a pumpkin juice at the Hog's Head, a cold butterbeer in Hogsmeade. I went over to Jurassic Park. I got a Casado burger from Burger Digs, and I liked it so much, I actually got it twice. I got some roasted potatoes with corn and chicken at Thunder Falls Terrace. I got a nice hot and fresh churro at Toon Lagoon. And at that point, I realized I had to stop. I kind of hit a wall and I ate a lot of food very quickly. It was all delicious. It was all hot and fresh. At these Orlando Informer events, it seriously feels like every restaurant in both parks is open and they have something for you to grab. Something I was worried about was not really being to eat my value in food. In previous years when I had done the event, we got full-size servings at places, and I didn't want to do that this year, but luckily things like the Casado burger were little small sliders. It was a very small portion of potatoes, so I was really just getting enough from each place that I was very happy with the food portions, and I didn't feel like I was like overeating. But you could if you wanted to. Like seriously, there's no limit to the food that you can get. I would say my 2 bits of advice for food during the Orlando Informer event would be, if you don't need to eat something from one of the Harry Potter restaurants, maybe just ignore it altogether. You can still get butterbeer all around the Wizarding World. It's super easy. They literally just like 20 from you to grab from at any given area. It is a marathon, okay? It is not a sprint once the food starts, don't go charging in and try to like eat everything. You can pace yourself, enjoy the night, kind of just go through as I did, do a ride, get a little small snack, walk to the next ride. I think that was the best way to do it. I was able to eat a little bit more than I thought I was going to end up eating, and I got to try some really delicious things in the park that I had not gotten to try before. Seriously, I love that Casado burger. Now, we got to talk about the big question, the $230 question. Is the event worth it? I would say it is. I seriously had a good time. I would say if you are only gonna do one night, I know the 2 nights is probably the most popular. People just spend the whole weekend there. But if you're gonna do one night, try to find out like what night the park closes earlier. On the Friday that I did it, the event technically went on from 8 p.m. to 1:30, but the Saturday it was 9 p.m. to 1:30. So it's like a little less time with the Orlando Informer benefits. You know what I mean? Park hours may affect the event and what day you choose to go. This event is really gonna be super great for 2 types of people. People who live out of state but like coming to Universal once or twice a year. You can just plan your vacation around one of these Orlando Informer meetups, and then every time you show up to Universal, you're there with free food and no waits, and life's good. And you know, the Universal super freaks, obviously, unlimited access to all the rides, you get to have all the food, all the characters are out, and you're surrounded by people who love Universal. I think if you have an annual pass and you go to the parks a lot already, I don't know how badly you would need to do an event like this. But I don't know, maybe you could. It's if you do it's like a special night, you know? It's like buying an express pass one day and you show up and you go and you have a great time, you have a whole bunch of food. They need to figure out how to do this for Halloween Horror Nights, because that's something I would buy into easily. An event like this for Halloween Horror Nights with no waits, oh, please, please, please. Think about it. I mean, overall, it was a really fun night. It was a really great time. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of really nice people who came up to me and said, hey, I get to spend time with friends. It was great. This is a really, really great event. And if it's something that you were curious about doing, I think you definitely should give it a shot. I was gonna say, if you had any questions about the event, leave a comment down below, but don't even bother with that. I would say just go ahead and join the Orlando Informer Facebook group. It is super active. That is really like the sort of heart of this whole meetup. All those people there are people that show up to this meetup. It is like its own world on that Facebook page of Universal fans. Go there if you have any questions. They'll be more than happy to answer your questions over there, much better than I could. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video. The Orlando Informer Meetup event was a lot of fun, and I hope you had fun having fun with me. So thank you guys for watching another VincentVision, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.